There's a turkey walking around right now that physically cannot have sex. Not struggles to, can't. Humans bred it so jacked in the chest that its own body gets in the way. So how does it make more turkeys? Stick around, because that one isn't even the worst thing on this list. Humans have been upgrading animals for a few hundred years now. Bigger, cuter, meatier, whatever sells. Only problem, nobody asked the animal. Here's 10 times we took a perfectly normal species and quietly broke it on purpose. Starting with a cow that looks like it skips leg day never. Belgian blue cattle. In the 1800s, Belgian farmers noticed some cows carried a mutation that basically removes the brake pedal on muscle growth. No brakes means muscles just keep going. Breeders found those cows and bred them together over and over until they'd built an animal that looks like a bodybuilder wearing a cow costume. Nearly double the meat of a normal cow. Great for farmers. Bad news for the cow giving birth to a calf built like that. Most Belgian blue calves come out by scheduled C-section now, not as a backup plan, as the plan. Next, the English Bulldog. 200 years ago, this breed was lean, athletic, and built for endurance. Used in a blood sport called bull baiting. When that sport was banned in England in 1835, breeders shifted their focus entirely toward appearance. A shorter body, a wider stance, and above all, a flatter face. That flattening is where the real damage happened. The bulldog's skull shape compresses its airway, giving it a condition vets call brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome, which makes normal breathing a constant, lifelong effort. Bulldog puppies now have skulls too large, relative to the mother's pelvis for natural delivery in most cases, which is why an estimated 80 to 90% of English bulldog litters are delivered by C-section. Add in skin folds that trap moisture and bacteria, joint problems from a body shape that was never built for its own bone structure, and a heat tolerance so poor that bulldogs are disproportionately represented in heat stroke deaths every summer, and you have a breed that has been shaped, generation after generation, into a body that increasingly cannot function. Then there's the broiler chicken, the bird responsible for nearly all commercial chicken meat. In the 1950s, breeders began selecting the fastest growing, largest breasted birds and breeding them together, generation after generation, purely for growth speed. A broiler chicken from the 1950s took about 12 weeks to reach market weight. Today's broiler reaches that same size in around 6. But muscle and skeleton don't grow at the same rate, so modern broilers frequently develop bowed or twisted legs that struggle to support their own body weight. Their hearts and lungs, sized for a smaller, slower-growing bird, often can't keep up with the muscle mass layered onto their frame, leading to elevated rates of heart failure and a condition literally called sudden death syndrome. Number 4, teacup dogs. Breeders take small breeds, Chihuahuas, Yorkies, Pomeranians, and keep breeding the smallest puppy in every litter together. Some end up lighter than a can of soda. At that size, jumping off a couch can snap a bone. Skipping one meal can trigger a seizure from low blood sugar. There's no upside here at all. It's small because small sells. 5th, and this one's just sad, Eye Goldfish. Regular goldfish are already a bred-up version of wild carp. Bubble eyes took it further. 2 fluid-filled sacs under the eyes that look like the fish is smuggling water balloons. Those sacs pop if they so much as bump into a rock, which usually ends in infection. Oh, and they also don't have a dorsal fin. So swimming, the one thing a fish needs to do, is a struggle for its whole life. 6th, Persian cats. Through decades of selection for a flatter, rounder face, Persians now commonly experience breathing difficulty even at rest. Chronic tear duct blockages that require regular cleaning to prevent infection, and dental crowding severe enough to cause lifelong issues, all stemming from a skull shape squeezed into a smaller space than it was ever meant to occupy. 7th, the Scottish fold. The breed's signature folded ears come from a cartilage mutation first discovered in a single cat in Scotland in the 1960s. That same mutation doesn't stop at the ears. Cartilage exists throughout the body, in joints, in the spine, in the tail, and Scottish folds bred for the ear trait frequently develop progressive joint disease and skeletal pain as a direct result of the same mutation that makes them look the way they do. 8th, Ligers, a lion-tiger hybrid that has never existed in the wild and only exists because of direct human breeding. Ligers grow larger than either parent species, but that size comes without the evolutionary support system a naturally large animal would have. Ligers commonly experience joint problems, organ strain, and significantly shortened lifespans compared to either parent species. 9th, fancy pigeons. Specifically breeds like the pouter, bred to inflate an enormous crop, the pouch pigeons naturally used to store food, into a balloon-like structure covering much of the chest. Beyond making flight extremely difficult, an oversized crop is prone to trapping food, which allows bacteria and fungus to grow in a warm, damp pocket pressed against the bird's body. Remember that turkey from the start? Here it is, the broad-breasted white, the turkey on nearly every Thanksgiving table in America. Starting in the 1940s and speeding up through the 1960s, breeders bred turkeys purely for one thing: bigger breasts, because that's the most expensive cut. They got exactly what they wanted. Too well, actually. Modern turkeys carry so much breast mass that the males physically cannot mount the females anymore. It's difficult. Impossible. Every single broad-breasted white turkey alive today, the one basically everyone in America eats every November, exists because a human manually did the one job the turkey's own body can't do anymore. We bred an animal out of its own reproductive system, then built an entire industry around finishing the job by hand. Sit with that for a second. That's not some rare lab animal, that's the default turkey. Tens of millions of them a year, and almost nobody eating one has ever been told what it actually took to get it on the table. But stick with me, because the next two aren't farm animals raised for food. They're pets you've probably seen in someone's living room, and what's happening to them is honestly worse. German Shepherds, one of the most recognizable dog breeds on Earth, have been selectively bred for decades toward a specific show ring silhouette. A dramatically sloped back and lowered hindquarters. That posture looks striking standing still. It also places abnormal stress on the hip joints over a lifetime of movement. And it's a major reason German Shepherds now have among the highest rates of hip and elbow dysplasia of any dog breed, a condition that causes chronic pain and, in severe cases, leaves dogs unable to walk normally by middle age. The trait bred for the show ring actively works against the trait the breed was originally created for, being a durable, high-endurance working dog. And then there's the Munchkin Cat, bred specifically for a genetic mutation that causes dwarfism, shortening the legs dramatically while leaving the rest of the body normal-sized. Veterinary geneticists have raised concerns that this is the same category of mutation responsible for skeletal disorders in other species. One that doesn't just shorten limbs, but can affect spinal structure and joint development throughout the body. Munchkins can still walk, run, and jump, but the same gene that gives them their signature look is doing that work by altering how their entire skeleton forms. Not just the legs anyone can see. Notice the pattern yet? Not one of these traits helped the animal. They helped it sell or look cute in a cage or produce a little more meat per pound of feed. Nobody was selecting for, can this thing still function without us? We like to say nature made mistakes with these breeds. It didn't. We did. One trait at a time until some of these animals couldn't survive or even reproduce without the same species that built them standing right there to finish the job. So next time you see a bulldog struggling to breathe or you're carving into a Thanksgiving turkey, remember, that's not how the animal was born to be. That's how we built it.